with
No,
it.
I
I
just
said,
be
please
like, oh,
bring
what would be a
something.
great gift?
Yeah,
Number
but
two.
also I like to get in the plug for you, and you signed it for you, free CD, and $19 savings to you,
Yeah.
to whoever this is.
And then after I signed it, I was like, I think it's only $13.99 or something like that.
But then when they show it to their friends, they'll be excited for the $19
That's true.
savings.
Then you look better.
Mike Birbiglia is also joining us.
Hey, Doug. I'm very excited to be here next to Paul Rudd, who's consistently in my life called the more attractive version of me. I get that constantly, and it hurts. You don't seem to be disagreeing.
No,
I
I don't know what to say. Honestly, I feel like I'm looking in the mirror.
Thank you so much. I do too.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. Perfect.
The listeners never tire of the physical humor.
It was brilliant, if anyone's wondering.
They love it. And speaking of physical humor, there's a lot of it in Mike Birbiglia's new movie, Sleepwalk with Me.
Nice. Oh, thank you.
And so this is you're giving away a copy of the book version of your original. This is the play. It's not an adaptation of the movie. Like someone wasn't assigned to write a book about the movie, because those are great. Those movies that weren't books first and then become a book. Some sad sack has to write.
Now it's called novelization.
Yes, that's the word
I
for
did
it.
a book report on the book of Home Alone.
Did you take
based
a
on a
task
famous
for not
novel.
describing the movie correctly?
Did I what?
Did you? Was it a critical book report, or were you a pro in the
I didn't like
adaptation?
how they indulged. Like, they went into some of his inner motivations that I don't think John Hughes ever intended.
The kid was also very mad at paint and bowling balls, so he got caught in the crossfire.
The kid hated Italians, and that's why he went after Kevin McAllister.
In the book, do they just say Joe Pesci's character?
Daniel Stern walked in. And then...
I was always troubled that they were called the Wet Bandits. That to me sounds like they're bandits that jerk off on everything. And that's their calling card. So, Sleepwalk with Me, the film opens when? August?
In New York this Friday, August 24th.
Mhm.
And then in 20 cities the following Friday, the 31st of August, including Los Angeles, Chicago, and the other cool cities. Though I like other cities.
People love it. Rotten Tomatoes, it's at 100% positive reaction from the critics so far.
Yeah, it hasn't been seen yet.
But 100% of the critics who haven't seen it yet are really excited about it, and they love it. And for people who don't know about your one-man show that the movie's based on, just a quick recap. Why is it called Sleepwalk with Me?
I have a sleep disorder called REM behavior disorder, which led me to a dangerous incident where I jumped out of a second-story window in my sleep.
Hey! Spoiler alert!
No, it's not. It's actually not. It's in the. You can know that and see the movie.
It's not at all like Home Alone.
Well, it has a Home Alone-like twist in the third act, but no, it's basically about this character developing his comedy career and being in denial about his relationship going south and also his deteriorating health, and it's funny. I can't describe it in a funny way, but it has a lot of jokes and it's funny. I know, and Paul Rudd's in it. No, he's not actually. Not? No. The unattractive version of Paul Rudd is the star.
I couldn't even get an audition for it.
There isn't a scene where you look in a mirror and talk about your goals with yourself. This is how I'd like to look eventually. If I could just get past this damn sleepwalking thing. Like, wouldn't it be great if we, as a sleepwalker, instead of diving through a window, you just got on the elliptical for a few hours?
I didn't know we were going to write jokes for this.
I didn't either, brother. Morgan Spurlock is here. He brought the Crazy Guns shirt, the gun movie, Guns of New York, and you don't really know anything about it, do you?
I was at a film festival last night, and the producer of the film said you should have a T-shirt from my movie, and so I brought that for you.
There you go. Well, I'm gonna pay it forward to whoever wins tonight. Now, Joe and Mulaney, you have to. This is your first time on the show.
Yeah.
And you just, it's a pretty natural assumption, I think, that you thought, oh, this show's probably about an hour long. And so you have to leave once we're an hour into it. You're essentially our Cinderella.
He's taping the Corolla podcast across town.
And you have to skedaddle at 9 o'clock. So
Yeah, that's the way I planned it. I didn't know who was going to be on the show. So.
Oh, now you think it's probably smart to just stay for the whole thing and blow off that, what was it, a bar mitzvah? Where were you?
Yeah,
Were you headed to a La Quinceañera? Do they say La Quinceañera or is it just Quinceañera? I don't know.
Come on, he is
El
headlining.
Quinceañera, right? You'd use the Spanish,
No,
probably.
it's just Quinceañera. Is that
It's
where you
just
were going?
quinceañera. I am going to a quinceañera.
Okay. That's probably good for you. You should probably take off then.
I feel really bad.
John,
about it.
Don't feel
Here's the
bad
deal.
about it.
I actually was given 2 Albert Nob screeners, and I will give you my other one if you stick around.
All right.
John is just taking out his phone.
All right.
And it looks like he's going to text them.
Dear Manuela.
Did Mulaney just text you, John?
Yeah, John, it's cool. It's cool if you stay. It's really cool if you stay.
Look over to your right. I am in a bit of a pickle.
So, John Hamm, you are here. Are you all caught up on Breaking Bad?
Yes.
It must be you. There must be a little bit of weird pride that you have to be like you're like Breaking Bad's sister show.
Sure.
Sure, and they probably have the similar pride with you.
Sure.
Yeah, it's that show about the trains in the Wild West. They're like left out in the cold. They don't really fit in yet.
Helen Wheels.
I think they see. It sounds like it's about a lady who drives real fast.
Well, that's Transamerica.
Knobs.
I don't watch a lot of TV. John, are you on Burn Notice? I don't know which show you're on.
I'm on Burn Notice. This season.
John is quite good. I'm going to warn all the other panelists. John is quite good at the Leonard Maltin game and is a finalist in the current Tournament of Championships. Yeah. Which we're just waiting for a day when he's not too busy to participate.
Never too busy for a podcast, folks. I think I've proven that over and over
It
again.
really is. It's your bread and butter, the podcast. But so you're just. I was asking you backstage. You're just hanging out in New York for a bit,
Yes.
not necessarily working on
Taking
anything.
it in.
You must have some. You must have a film in the can. There must be something that you've completed. You must have made one of those shit room movies.
No. No, Friends with Kids out on DVD and VOD. But other than that, I am fully unemployed.
When you're sitting in a hotel room, as I often do, they or on my on-demand in Los Angeles on cable, they're selling Friends with Kids as a hilarious comedy starring John Hamm and Kristen Wiig. It's a little bit of a mislead because you're probably the least hilarious part of the movie because your character is kind of a fucker.
We didn't have a lot of input in how the movie was marketed.
Hey, if it's
they
working,
did a wonderful job. However, if you're out there listening. But yeah, that was the choice. To sort of, since a lot of the people are in Bridesmaids that are in our movie, I thought that would be a fun way in to lure people to watching a movie that's nothing like they expect.
Yeah. Remember
everybody likes to be fooled.
They should be saying, remember the more serious parts of Bridesmaids? This shit is heavy. But with the same people.
Yeah.
It's like Orson Welles cast of whatever they were called, the Mercury Theater. And one guy in the back, ha!
That's weird. A 30s radio theater joke didn't go over well.
I don't know why. I thought this was a magnificent Ambersons crowd. I will hold off on any. I will not mention Battleship Potemkin.
Orson Welles in the Mercury Theater, one of the first podcasters.
Yeah, he podcasted the aliens were taking over.
Indeed.
Paul, what are you're how many films ahead are you at this point? Like how many are backed up on the runway?
I don't know, like three or four.
Been stealing the trailers for This Is 40. Looks amazing. Very entertaining.
Thank you. Yeah, it comes out in December.
When I was watching Knocked Up, I was like, if they can figure out a way to get Heigl out of the equation, I will watch the shit out of this.
They did.
They did it.
Let's bring her out. Captain Heigl, everybody.
Oh, God.
She's not here. That we know of.
She was, I'm sure it was just scheduling. I'm sure she was making a movie about a bounty hunter or a woman who can fly or something. A woman who can fly. I love those movies.
Mulaney read the book.
She's doing Amelia Earhart, but a sexier, long-haired version. So, what are the other ones, Paul, that you got coming out? Memory test.
Yeah, there's a movie that I did with Paul Giamatti that Phil Morrison directed that doesn't have a title yet.
So watch for that.
Well, first let me take you back to the idea of the film.
So sorry, you guys. Is Katherine Heigl here?
And then I'm trying to work on a snuff film with John Hamm.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, they will be. Again, another visual joke for the listeners at home.
Well, make it out,
Morgan Spurlock, how many movies have you made in the last week or two?
16.
You're a busy man. You're a busy man. You've got Mansom is available to watch.
Starring Paul Rudd.
That man's a man right there.
There's a scene of Paul Rudd and Jason Bateman in a bathtub.
No, Will Arnett and Jason Bateman.
Will Arnett. Sorry, Paul.
No, it's okay.
And then what's next after that?
Well, now Mansom, which Mansom the film has become Mansom the web series. So now if you go to Yahoo, you can see Mansom 5 days a week, every day, where we tell you how to be more Mansom. So you can learn things like, how to pretend like you're listening to your girlfriend and really important things men need to know. How to make your own sex tape. We just shot that one in Atlantic City.
And
This is important information, guys.
But it stars Charles Manson, right?
That's right. Charles Manson.
Did
Charles Manson is very
Manson
Manson.
soundtrack.
Was
Yes.
right.
Next week, swastika on your forehead.
We're saving that for week 4.
Icebreaker or deal breaker. And what about there's got to be something else you're holding back on me, Morgan.
No, that's about it.
That's it. Everything else is in development.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay,
nothing
good.
for
Well, I'd like you to slow down a little bit because I'm trying to parody all of your films, and you're like 3 movies ahead of me, and it's exhausting. You really you keep moving, man, and I appreciate that about you.
I'll go slow.
You know what? We
I'll
could have
slow
just
down.
had that conversation backstage. There was no reason for me to share it with 242 people. Let me make sure I got all my questions in. Oh, Paul, you've done Shakespeare in the Park.
Well, at Lincoln Center, I haven't done Shakespeare in the Park.
Okay,
I've been to Shakespeare in the Park.
moving on to Mike Birbiglia.
I went to Shakespeare in the Park.
You've seen Shakespeare in the Park.
Yep, I've seen it as well. Yeah,
I've seen it as well.
I've actually seen Paul
In the audience.
go to Shakespeare in the Park also. But I didn't say hi because I thought it would be weird.
I'm fairly certain when I did Shakespeare at 12th Night, I went into the park to kind of go over my lines. So in a sense,
Oh, okay.
technically,
Yeah.
Nobody classifies it that way though. I mean,
No.
it's a really specific.
no, it doesn't.
What they mean when
Did
they
we
say
specify
Shakespeare in the
which
Park
park?
is
I think it counts. I think it counts.
It was during the summer, right?
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I was talking to Paul, but thanks, John.
Here to help, Doug.
Thanks for jumping on that one, John.
Here to help.
I appreciate it. John Mulaney, not only a hilarious comedian, but also a writer.
What was your question about Shakespeare in the Park?
Once he said he hadn't done it, it ruined my question. Because my question was just going to be like, how many bugs flew in your mouth?
Oh,
It really.
you know what? Several did when I was just an audience member.
I saw Into the Woods there the other night.
How was it?
And I thought that 12th night you were in was done there, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't my cup of tea. Like, I don't like to drink a cup of tea that has shit in it. No, it's really.
Let's bring her out.
I think it's really good. It's probably really good. It just wasn't for me. It just wasn't my thing. But outside, like, it was threatening to rain the whole time, so that was exciting. And there was like lightning in the background, and it was it was about witches and stuff. So that added
You should tell the actors that.
pretty
I
cool
like
effect.
the lightning in the background.
Yeah, I like things that weren't happening on stage. My feet did a little tap number, and there was
the cab I took was
lightning.
great there. It's just keep doing what you're doing.
But John does, correct me if I'm wrong, you are half responsible for what the character Stefan says on Saturday Night Live.
With Bill Hader, yeah.
With Bill Hader.
Yeah, with Bill Hader.
You work on it with him.
Yes.
And you must come up with the most fucking hilarious lines for that, because he can't be laughing that hard at the ones he came up with. So, has there been a Stefan from beginning to end where he doesn't crack at some point?
We did it as a sketch once with Ben Affleck, where it's like, he was like a character and they were pitching a movie. They were like the Wachowski brothers. And then I think he got through that, and then we did it on Update after that, and I don't think he's gotten through one, but I'll change like lines in it right before air. So
he's just reading it off prompter?
No, I'll tell him, there are cue cards, not prompter, so I'll tell him as he's walking up, I'll be like, it's now Baloney Dancer. Or something like that, as he's walking over there. Because if he reads
Baloney Dancer.
It's now Baloney Dancer.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Because that's where he's cracking up, is the new shit, right? Like,
stuff that he's known about for maybe a minute and a half or something like that. And then one time I couldn't think of any new jokes for it, but we had a line about Taylor Negron. It was in the 12 Days of Christmas. Taylor Negron instead of 2 turtle doves. I couldn't think of a new joke, so as Bill was about to roll out to talk to Seth, I handed him a photo I printed out of Taylor Negron. And it said, "Dear Bill Hader, thank you for never making fun of me on Weekend Update." I was like, you need to see this before you go out there.
He, of course, is in Fast Times. He's pizza guy. He brings the pizza to
He's
Spurlock.
the guy on Seinfeld who washes Elaine's hair with tomato sauce.
Yeah. And he's the guy who in
Better Off Dead.
Punchline says, area rug.
Oh yeah, don't get carpet, get area.
And he's also the guy, he's in Young Doctors. I know everything. He gets killed. He falls into a propeller and gets shredded by a propeller at the end of Last Boy Scout. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He worked in the liquor store in a movie called The Stoned Age.
Yeah. Paul Rudd, everybody.
Doug, really? You don't know The Stoned Age?
I don't.
You gotta watch it.
It seems like it's perfect for me.
It's awesome.
Seems like I would enjoy it. But Paul, have you seen, with your busy movie making schedule, have you been to the cinema lately? Have you seen any films?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have I said? Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Really? You're that excited about it? I thought it was good, but it was interesting, but it's a very small story. I mean, it's about a little girl, but it was I definitely liked it, but I wouldn't sit in a room and go, woo! When the subject comes up. It seems a little. Let's see what else. What else did you see? Well, maybe they're just excited about anything you've seen.
You know what I just watched 2 days ago? Yes! That's what I thought too. It's great, isn't it? I just loved it. I watched Undefeated, the documentary.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that's like Friday Night Lights, but for reals.
And for all three audience members who saw that film, thank you for watching a documentary. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Morgan's over there. I make documentaries.
I saw a great documentary a few weeks ago, I Weiwei Never Sorry. It's an excellent film that's up right now.
What's it about?
A Chinese activist artist named Ai Weiwei who's imprisoned by Chinese government. It's actually very funny and.
Thank you for seeing a documentary.
Yeah, Morgan. I saw it because Morgan called me and asked me to see something. And I love Morgan's movies too. I like documentaries. People should see documentaries.
Documentaries are awesome, but that's the funny thing about reading critical analysis of them is critics seem to just love documentaries. So every single one they tend to
except my documentaries.
What? Critics like this, the first one.
You have to almost die for them to like it. That's what it is.
Those are Grizzly Man is great.